felt comfortable making, because I have some very strong opinions, and I just didn't know how you would receive those opinions without really understanding where I was coming from. So it's such a relief to me and such a weight off of my shoulders that I got that intro video out last week. Today, I want to answer a question that I get all the time. Every single time I tell people that I'm Nigerian, I get two comments every single time. The first comment is, "Oh my gosh, you speak really good English." And every time people say that, I always say thank you, because actually I worked hard to be able to speak English with a minimal Nigerian accent. And the reason I did that is a completely different video. I'm not going to address that in this video. But the second comment I always get when I say I'm Nigerian is, "Why did you leave? Why did you leave Nigeria to come to the US?" And I always answer that question in some kind of politically correct way. I usually say something along the lines of, "Oh, America's the land of opportunity," or, "Oh, it just kind of worked out." But, I want to be real for a second here. Why wouldn't I leave Nigeria? I think asking why I left Nigeria to come to the US is the wrong question. The right question would be, why wouldn't I leave? Why wouldn't I leave Nigeria? Why wouldn't I leave a country that thinks it's okay to marry off 7-year-old girls to 75-year-old men and make it a legal law that says that it's okay to do something like that? But why wouldn't I leave a religious country that has so much perversity going on under the surface? Why wouldn't I leave a country that kills people that are trying to do the right thing? I think back to MKO. I think back to the Ogoni and the 9 people they killed on November 10th, 1995. But why wouldn't I leave a country that would pay $500,000 for Kim Kardashian to show up in our country and cannot afford to pay for education for young girls? Why wouldn't I leave a country that forces young people to graduate from college after 8 years in programs that should take 4 years? Why wouldn't I leave a country that forces university graduates to work for 1 year for money that can't even pay their phone bills in the name of national service? Shouldn't national service be voluntary? How dare you force the youth to spend the best years of their lives in a system that doesn't help them? Why wouldn't I leave a country where people spend 8 years trying to get a degree that should only take 3 years? Why wouldn't I leave a country where university professors sleep with girls every single day of the school year so they can get good grades, and the government turns a blind eye and there's no justice for these girls? Why wouldn't I leave a country where I don't feel safe walking down the street in the broad daylight, in the afternoon hours, not even late at night? Why wouldn't I leave a country where there is so much kidnapping and killing and corruption day in, day out? Why wouldn't I leave a country where our leaders convene every single day of the week to share the money that's being gotten from oil? Why wouldn't I leave a country that the US pays $30 billion to almost every year? Actually, I'm not sure if that number is correct. But the US does send millions of dollars to Nigeria on a daily basis, yet Nigeria is one of the poorest countries in the world. Why wouldn't I leave a country that has one of the fastest growing populations in the world? Nigeria is one of the top 10 growing countries in the world. A country that's growing that fast but has no plans for the next generation. Why wouldn't I leave a country that has so many people getting married and having kids, and there is little to no sex education given in schools because, hey, we're holy and sex is an unholy word to say? Why wouldn't I leave such a country and come to the US? And for those of you that are going to say, "Well, Kola, you're not helping by leaving," here's what I want to ask you. There are 150 million people in Nigeria. The population of Nigeria is roughly 150 million. Now let's assume that half of those people are brain damaged. Let's just say 50% of the Nigerian people living in Nigeria are brain damaged. That leaves 75 million human beings with perfectly functional brains living in the system. Why aren't those people making change happen? Why would it be me? Why would I be the hero? Why would my presence in Nigeria make a difference? Why do I have to be person number 75,000,001 in order for change to happen? Nigeria doesn't have a people problem. We have good people in Nigeria. We have smart people in Nigeria. We have world changers in Nigeria. Nigeria doesn't have a people problem. We have a system problem, specifically a justice system problem. Until there is a justice system in Nigeria, every effort we're making is in vain. Until there is some kind of system that brings justice to those that need justice, there is no progress in Nigeria. You can go out there and rally and demonstrate and do all sorts of things, but guess what? If there is no justice system to make sure that if you die for standing up for what you believe in, at least somebody's going to be held accountable for your death. Until such a system is in place, there is no progress for Nigeria. And for those of you that are going to ask me how leaving is going to help institute that kind of a system, all I have to say is I have no interest or desire in instituting such a system in Nigeria. My desire is very simple. The one thing that I care most about in this world is very simple, and that is helping orphans. And any way that I can do that, I will put my heart and soul into doing that. And I cannot do that in Nigeria, and that's one of the biggest reasons I left that country. Until a justice system that works is instituted in Nigeria, I plan to stay exactly where I am, supporting Starbucks every single day, and repping Gt9ja from afar. The funny thing about this video is if I were American and this video were about America, Americans would get angry. Americans will have an opinion. Americans will share this video. Americans will start a conversation. Americans will do something. But Nigerians, I know a lot of you are going to watch this video and you're going to go, now wow, God will help that country, Sha.